reduce his pay by $5 million in the final year of the deal. Overall, the restructuring is expected to free up over $15 million this season for Pittsburgh. So, Shannon, is this a good move or a bad move to bring Big Ben back at this point?
Skill. Here's the thing. My grandfather used to say, boy, give me your options and I tell you your choices. Okay, what's the options? Haskins, Mason Rudolph. Well, your choice has been Roethlisberger. There you go. Give me your option. I'll tell you your choices. What choice did they have, Skip, given the options that they placed themselves in? The Steelers have not done a great job preparing for the future at that position. And you would think, having had to go through what they went through with Terry Bradshaw when he retired, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, in 1984, to all the way 2 decades later getting Ben in the first round in 2004, you would have thought they would have done a better job of preparing for life after Ben Roethlisberger. But guess what? They have not. So now this is what is faces them. Their options were either Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph. So the only choice that they had was to bring Ben Roethlisberger back. Even at $5 million pay reduction, so he's supposed to make $19 million base, he makes $14 million now, Skip. That was the only choice that they had. Does it make him better? What? Now all of a sudden he comes back? Skip, what's the likelihood? A guy in year what would this be, year 18 for Ben? That his arm, after elbow surgery, after all the sacks, after all the hits, after the motorcycle injury robbed him of probably a year of his career. His arm's going to get stronger? He's going to push the ball down the field more now? Hell, I read a story where Ben barely practices during the week. I'm trying to figure out how the hell the starting quarterback really doesn't practice that much and have a rhythm with the receivers. No, it doesn't make them any better. Skip, they're not a very good team. That team is built. They can't run the football. So what are they going to do now all of a sudden? Are they going to trade for Derrick Henry? Are they going to trade for an elite running back? Are they going to draft Najee Harris? When they can run the football with more consistency, and Ben is willing to attempt to push the ball down the field, wake me up. But in the meantime, I'm going to doze off and I'm going to sleep because I expect the Steelers to be exactly what they were last year.
Well, by the way, speaking of exactly what they were last year, you do remember that team got to 11-0, 11 wins and no losses. As you know, in this league, to get to 11-0 is not easy. Something has to be going right. And at the end of the year...
Here's the thing, though, Skip.
What's that?
They're going to lose Bud Dupree.
Maybe.
So, but we also, we saw, but Skip, what did we see? Even when they played your Cowboys and they won, I was telling you all year, Skip, I see major flaws in this team.
Okay.
They're not winning any playoff games.
All right.
They're too flawed.
But
so how do they correct those flaws?
Okay, they wound up 3rd for the whole year in points allowed. 3rd, and Pro Football Focus ranked that defense 2nd overall. That's pretty good. And I realized they crumbled down the stretch. They went 1-5. I realized they fell behind, 28-0 after a quarter of a playoff game at home against an arch rival in the Cleveland Browns, and it was 35-10 at half. I got that. I realized that Ben Roethlisberger wound up with Pouncey sitting on the bench crying at the end of the game, and it felt like the end of an era. I get all that. But I still believe in Ben Roethlisberger. I'm still a fan of his. I'm not a fan of the Steelers in any way, shape, or form, but you remember, I love Devin Bush, too. I loved him. I thought they stole him in the first round of that draft. And I assume he's going to come back full force. And if he does, there's a chance they'd keep Bud Dupree. I don't know. He's probably going to command too much money on the open market. He's obviously coming off an injury also. But I don't think the defense is going to be any worse. I mean, T.J. Watt's still there and Cam Hayward's still there, and I can go down the line. I think they're still going to be very good on defense.
Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden?
I think he probably will be gone, be a cap casualty. But the point is...
Oh, Joe, you're talking Joe Hayden.
Joe Hayden, yeah. But, look, I'm pretty sure they're going to take Najee Harris in the first round because they better. And if they don't take Najee, they might talk themselves into Travis Etienne. But I love both those kids. But I'll give Najee a slight edge because he runs a little more physically, and he can really catch it and run with it.
Catch the ball a little better.
Hey,
Yes.
Najee, he made that Alabama attack go. And again, they were about as loaded as any offense we've seen in the history of college football. But still,
yeah.
What do we always say? What's the ultimate cliche? The running game is the quarterback's best friend. Well, I believe Ben's going to have a new best friend next year named Najee Harris. And if he does, you better look out because it's going to change the way they play offense. It's going to change. They'll tilt back to a balanced team. And if they can, listen, Ben Roethlisberger, I realize he's 39 years of age. And yet, he's been to 6 Pro Bowls, he's been to 3 Super Bowls, and he won 2 of them. And I get it. It looked like he couldn't throw it 5 yards last year, but he just knows how to play quarterback. He just knows how to stay upright in the pocket. I don't know how he does it. He's just a big, strong guy. And it's not weight room strong, and he takes a lot of hits he's not the biggest workout warrior in the offseason.
Weight room, he don't even work out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the point is, I believe he will be inspired by what he saw Brady do. And I believe he did at least glimpse his football mortality at the end of that Cleveland game. Like, is this the end for me? And I believe you'll see a much more recommitted Big Ben off-season going into regular season. I like their chances. I still think they're going to rival Baltimore for the best team in that division.
I'm Skip. Hold on, time out. Now all of a sudden, Brady's been playing at a level for 21 years. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, we're going to just take last year, not counting, but the previous 3-4 years. Ben wasn't inspired by that. What's Ben workout? You read the reports. Ben workout is yoga, going drinking beer, playing golf. So how does Tom Brady inspire that when you know what Tom Brady does in the offseason? So Ben goes and does an hour yoga class, drinks beer, plays golf. How does that equate to playing football at an elite level? What have you seen from Ben? Like you tell me about Aaron Rodgers. He did win that Super Bowl, but that was a decade ago. Well, Ben Roethlisberger won his Super Bowl even longer than that. And somehow you believe after the injuries, after the elbow surgery, after what you saw last year, that all of a sudden he's going to come back and be reinvigorated? That he's going to be better than what he's been?
Well, what did we talk about yesterday? How many Pro Football Hall of Famers would give anything to be able to snap fingers and go back to where they were at the end of their career and keep it going the way Brady's kept it going to 43, 44, maybe 45? Well, just about all of them would, right?
Yes, but Skip, that's not what I'm arguing with you. I'm not arguing with that. What I'm debating with you is how good this Steelers team is going to be. I'm not saying that he should retire, but what are your expectations?
I give him a real shot to win the division, and I think Cleveland will get a little better. I think Baltimore is going to be really good. I liked them a lot last year, so it'll be a 3-team race. But I'm not counting Pittsburgh out of winning this division, not with Ben Roethlisberger back at quarterback. And I do believe he will be scared straight. I believe he saw it like the end flash before his eyes. And I don't think it's ever flashed before. I don't think he's ever had any pressure on him. And he felt real heat on him for the first time that he just might lose his job. And he took a huge cut in salary. I mean, $14 million still, it's good money by most people's standards in the pro football, but not by quarterback standards. He's only making $14 million. I think that'll humble him and refocus him.
No, Cam Newton took a huge pay cut, going from $21 million down to $1 million.
Yep.
Cam Newton took a pay cut. But let me ask you this, Skip. Ben Roethlisberger has never been held accountable for his play on the field. Ben Roethlisberger has been reckless with the football.
He has.
And he's never been held accountable. And somehow now you believe in year 18 he's going to be held accountable? No, remember, they got rid of everybody else. Go ahead.
Doesn't he know that this is it? Like, all of a sudden, this could be one and done, one more and done? And doesn't he know he's playing for his future now? And I think he doesn't want to quit yet. And I think you're going to see a much better Ben next year than you saw last year. And yet, last year, they got to 11-0. Ain't easy.
Skip, here's the thing. If you don't save up for a car, if you haven't been saving, if you haven't put anything aside, how the hell do you just go get a new car? You just ride that car till the wheels fall off. Well, it's getting, the check engine light is on. As a matter of fact, it's not only flashing, but the Steelers have not prepared. They haven't saved anything for a new quarterback. They haven't developed a new quarterback. So what options do you have but to drive this car until it breaks down side the freeway, the interstate, with your butt in it? That's the only options they have. They're over the cap to begin with. They haven't developed a young quarterback. So what other choices do they have but to bring Big Ben back? And the Steelers are not measured by division, Skip. They're one of the few teams that have 6 titles. They have 6. The Patriots have 6. The Cowboys have 5.